How to find your area of talent. 3 simple steps. Today, I want to continue sharing this powerful series of insights. But first, don't be anxious. Let me share a real secret with you. Most people live their lives in a fog. They don't know what their true strengths are, nor do they have a clear sense of what they should be doing. So, living a better life isn't that hard. All you need to do is be just a little more awake than most people. With this small edge, you can identify your strengths and leverage the tools around you to magnify them. Then, you can redesign the next chapter of your life around your own advantages. I will soon show you how to identify your strengths, find your area of talent, and how to make the most of these advantages. But before that, let me tell you a short story. Listen carefully, and then we can dive deeper. On a vast plain, there are lions and antelopes. The lion is born to be a lion, and the antelope is born to be an antelope. Understanding who you are is the first step. The lion must survive by hunting antelopes, while the antelope's job is to run and eat grass. But here's the twist. The antelope doesn't need to compete with the lion. It doesn't need to outrun the lion. It only needs to outrun the other antelopes to live a happy, carefree life. Got it? In today's internet age, information is everywhere. We hear about Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and how everyone in tech seems to drive a Rolls-Royce. This flood of information can confuse our thoughts. Yes, these people are excellent, I admit that. But how does their success relate to me? They are the lions, and I am the antelope. They eat meat, I eat grass. There's no real comparison between us. As an antelope, who should I focus on? The answer is simple. As long as I can outrun my peers, I've already won. In a highly competitive world, our goal should be to find and focus on our unique strengths, and then amplify them with all our might. No one is perfect. We all have weaknesses. But as long as those weaknesses don't threaten your survival, you'll be fine. You've probably heard the barrel theory, right? This theory has misled many people. It is one of the biggest traps imposed by our educational system, and many never escape it. Do you know why so many of the top students from school end up working for those who struggled academically? Why are those who didn't perform well in school sometimes more successful in life? It's because the so-called bad students weren't shackled by this rigid logic. Back in school, teachers would always tell us, if you're bad at a subject like math, consider it your weakness. And that weakness would supposedly limit your potential, thus influencing your future. This advice isn't wrong, but it only applies in the context of exams, the exams we've already moved past. We've grown up, and the real world isn't a test. In exams, 2 things are true. They are closed-book tests. You have to work independently. But in the real world, it's open book. There's no rule saying you can't look up information or ask for help. And today, with the internet, if you don't know something, you can easily find someone who does. In the real world, the key to success isn't having all the answers. It's knowing how to delegate and work with others. Society doesn't need all-around experts. It needs specialists, people with deep expertise in a particular area. And to be a specialist, you must identify and develop your strengths. How do you identify your advantages? Here's a formula. Advantage equals talent times investment. Talent is what you love and excel at naturally. Investment means dedicating time and resources to refining that talent. Each of us has a gift hidden inside, waiting to be unlocked. But first, you need to find that gift. If you're unsure where your talent lies, follow these 3 steps. Think about what you do faster and better than others. These are tasks that others struggle with, but you handle with ease. Everyone has something like this, maybe even several things. Reflect on your sense of self-efficacy. This is when you see someone succeeding at something and instinctively feel, I could do that too. This sense of confidence often signals an untapped talent. What makes you feel accomplished and genuinely happy? Whether it's innate or developed over time, these are the activities that you find naturally enjoyable and motivating. Once you've identified these, jot them down. Now, take half a day, grab a pen and paper, and start writing. Write down 30 things you would most like to do. Afterward, group similar items together and identify which ones are in demand, things people would pay for. Then, based on how deeply you desire them, narrow your list down to just one item. That single thing, where you're not only good at it, but it feels natural and effortless, is likely where your talent lies. Once you've identified your talent, the next step is to continually refine and develop it. You must invest time and resources to turn that talent into an advantage. Remember the story of Zhong Yong, the child prodigy who wasted his natural talent? Raw talent alone isn't enough to stand out. You need deliberate practice. But here's the challenge. Many people struggle to stay consistent. Here's a key technique. Design a feedback system. Don't set grand, distant goals. Break them down into smaller, actionable tasks that bring a sense of accomplishment. Share these small successes with others, and let their praise fuel you. This positive feedback loop will keep you motivated. Over time, you'll build confidence, and soon, you'll get addicted to the feeling of success. Your brain will crave that feedback, and that's when the cycle of growth accelerates. At a certain stage, you'll need to connect your work with a higher purpose. Ask yourself, how does what I do benefit society? How does it help others? And how does it enrich me? This sense of purpose and fulfillment is unparalleled. At that point, your belief in your work will become so strong that setbacks won't deter you. You'll keep pushing forward, and success will follow. To overcome confusion in life, you only need to do two things: see the trends and identify your strengths. Once you master this method, your goals will become clearer,